Hello, welcome back. If you haven't joined us before, this is the third episode of we're playing Entity, which is, I describe it as an indie game, it probably is. It's a storytelling NASA punk game by Peter Schultz, I believe his name is. It's pretty cool, we've already done 2 episodes of it, and this is our third. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have liked, thank you very much for liking. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps surface this, and I'm seeing more people starting to visit the channel, which is really awesome. It makes me feel very glad. I enjoy doing this. If there's any additional game you'd like me to play, I've just answered a comment. This was probably in your time last week or the week before, because I record slightly ahead of time, and it makes things easier. Who was suggesting I play Call of Cthulhu. If there's anything you'd like me to play, I'd love to give it a go. But rather than I witter, let us continue. So, Entity, very much like Nefarious or Ironsworn, but we completed our AI, astronaut, welcome, completed their first mission, and we built a geospatial laboratory, which means that we can re-roll 1 navigation action roll every time we do a mission, I believe, but we can double check it. I wasn't really thinking when I did that one, but anyway, what we forgot to do at the end of the mission, so before we erase all of our strain and reset everything, what we forgot to do was read out our discovery, because we get 1 discovery at the end of every mission, so I will do that now. So our first discovery, unknown alloy. You discover an unknown, extraordinarily durable alloy near a monolithic obelisk shrouded in energy of unknown origin. We saw that obelisk. We actually saw the obelisk in the distance, and I said we should investigate that later. I remember that. An ancient monolith standing alone in a desolate plain was what we found. This is where we must have gone past it. All signs indicate that it's a crucial component of the pyramid's composition. This discovery suggests technology far surpassing any known to date, indicating the handiwork of an advanced civilization in its creation. Well, really? Come on, Peter. It's a floating pyramid up in the air that dragged us through space and time to this place here. Yeah, it feels like it's the handiwork of someone a bit more advanced. So I think I circled some things that I thought might be good. So we've done navigating complexity. Now there's alien life forms that will give us a xenobiology laboratory, and I believe that will help us with our biology rolls, which we're quite low on. So we might do that next. To boost our biology rolls. Where's my character sheet? Yes, I have biology of 1 and analytics of 3, which isn't super duper. So give me a second and I will erase, because we begin every mission. So we start every mission with full capacity of energy, 10, no resources and no data. So I'll remove those. Okay, so we have full energy, no resources, no data. We are going to do the mission Alien Life Forms. So we're going to attempt to get the components to erect a xenobiology laboratory, which should aid in us studying. Controlled environment simulates various alien ecosystems, allowing for advanced study and experimentation. Gain biology +1. That will give us +1 to our biology. So I don't know if you remember how we do this, but what we basically have is we have a cycle of expeditions. And the idea is for us to get some aspects. To complete this, we need to have 4 aspects to complete this mission. And so the first thing we need to do is we identify a location to go and explore. So we roll percentage dice and we look at it. So what we're basically doing is we're back at the base camp where we have our geospatial laboratory. And we're starting to study the local area, looking for an interesting location to go and explore. 92. So we see in the distance a sky-piercing canopy. So somewhere off, probably we're looking in another direction than where we had that those titanium glaciers and that the very flat plain of desert. So we're more looking towards, there's a forest of gargantuan trees whose tops disappear into the clouds, their trunks home to an ecosystem of climbing alien flora. Awesome. That's exactly the sort of thing we want to help us in studying the alien life forms to build out our xenobiology. So we are going to a giant forest full of life. So we now need to work out, now we're now going to head towards this forest because we think this might be really good to study some of the life forms that we could set up some more of the cameras like we did with the Sci bunnies and try and study the life forms here. So what we now work out is our travel encounter. Do we travel? So we roll on the travel encounter table, which is a D10. Now we can spend data to increase this, but we don't have any data to spend. We do have our resource converter, so we can spend 2 resources to gain 1 data or 1 energy, but we don't have any resources to spend at this point. So we just roll a D10. We got a 7, which is no. So we travel towards the forest. It's quite empty, and maybe we start to go into some plains. And because we're in the plains and there's just thin, like short grass and some tall grass, there's nothing really sees. Maybe some of the grass sort of rustles and we see things scampering away from us as we're approaching the close towards these humongous trees, massive, massive, big, looking like ancient redwoods, but maybe multiple different colours. Let's see if that we see what we're like as we walked towards this. Oh, we could do a material roll. Okay, let's do a material. Let's see what sort of materials these trees are made of. 81. Nitric acid. Oh, so they're sort of, there's acidic, maybe dripping down the outsides of these trees. There's some sort of weird acid is dripping down outside these trees. And what do we see? Because there's a table. Do you remember there's that table? What we see in the distance and what we see up close. What you see in the sky. What do we see in the sky above these trees? 47. Okay, so opaque cloud bands in the atmosphere creating a striped sky. So as the trees, these huge tree canopies go up into the clouds and there's striped stratus of the clouds. So now we're at the massive forest. We would now be at the location encounter part of this cycle. Then we will go back and we get to do our side quest at the same time. So we now roll a D10. And this is where we're trying to basically gain more information to get data, because what we need for this role is a 10, and a 10 gives us a challenge, an opportunity, a finding, and then we get our aspect. And the only way to really easily get a 10 is we spend data at the point when we do this role. 7, see, so not high enough. So what we get for a 7 is we have a challenge and an opportunity. So we might be able to get some data out of the opportunity. So we go to a challenge, our challenge text. So it's a 7 is a normal challenge. So you do have, I don't know if I mentioned this, and I don't think we've got one. If we roll with a D or disadvantage, we would roll 2 and then take the lowest away. So we get the highest. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to beat our score. So this is it's a bit like Iron Forge. But now we have an encounter, which is a challenge. So we roll percentage. We've got 33. So engineering and robotics can be used. So as we start to approach the trees, one of the trees sort of cracks open, maybe it's artificial, and a swarm of energy leeches start to attach themselves to our suit. So they sort of swarm across, crawling up our legs and around our suit, beginning to attach onto our energy reserves and burning through our energy reserves. So we can attempt to defeat these using engineering or robotics. Now, our engineering is a 1, which isn't very great, and our robotics is a 2, which is both under technology. So robotics being a 2 under technology gives us a 6 total, because we have 4 for our technology. So we add our technology. So we have 3 main statistics. I'll hold this up. We have 3 main statistics. We have technology, analytics, and adaptivity. And then we have skills under those: robotics, information technology, blah, 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 stuff like that. You should really get the book. Get the book. It's really good. But don't oh, I forgot your name. I'm really sorry. Hold on. I'm going to look up your name so I can say who you are. Hold on. But don't do as Codexa did. And so what Codexa did was accidentally purchase the Advanced Storytelling Entity book. So this one just has tables to sort of extend the random tables, the Oracle-based tables. What you're looking for is the one with this awesome picture on the front. This is an awesome picture that I believe Peter Schultz painted. That's really excellent. That's an awesome picture. It looks oils. Anyway, where were we? We were rolled 33 for our challenge, so we're being attacked by these leeches, a swarm of energy leeches. We can use engineering or robotics, so we will attempt to use robotics to defeat these leeches. So I would assume that we will program nanites to begin attacking. So we will disperse some nanites from us that will begin to attack the energy swarms. So we have a 4 and a 2, which gives us a 6. So we need to roll equal to or above 6, and we have the same thing. So we have a full success, partial success, or failure. So we get 2 dice because it's not a disadvantage. And what we need is we're looking for higher than 6s. Oh no, we need it to be less than or equal to. Less than or equal to 6s. 4 and 7, so that's a partial success. Okay, so we can use our integrated tool and burn 2 energy to re-roll the 7, and we would get a success, but we would suffer a strain otherwise. But we can use an adaptive shield, which is a 3, to overcome that strain. So I think we will take 1 strain. I forgot to erase it, so I've already got one written down. So you reset all strain. So that means we've successfully forced the energy leechy things to retreat from us by attacking them, suffering 1 strain, so energy leeches. I wonder if that's linked to the energy virus that attacked us from the rogue AI. And next we have an opportunity that will come our way. So let's see what this opportunity is. 19. 19. You unearth a crystal-encrusted geode with potentially valuable minerals. Gain 2 resources on success, physics or chemistry. Our physics is a 3 and our analytics is a 3, which gives us a 6. So we have another 6. So now we're going to attempt to use our physics knowledge to get the geode up and be able to recover it to get 2 resources. So we've got a partial success. So that will give us, I think that gives us a strain and we don't get anything. We need a full success to get, no, it says the action is carried out. Let's double check on this bit here. So so we would get the resources but take 1 strain as well, which we might do. I'm going to burn 3 energy to protect ourselves from the strain, but we will gain the large, oh, it was 19, wasn't it? Yeah, 19. We gain 2 resources. So successfully we pry the geode up, and then it takes us many hours, but we're AI, so it doesn't really matter, to maneuver our way back to our base camp. So we head back to base camp with our geode, and then we get back to base camp. And once we get back to base camp, we can do a side quest or a side activity. And the side activities are collecting data, recharging energy, gathering more resources, or implementing an upgrade. Or self-repair. So we need 5 resources or 10 resources for self-repair or upgrade. So we might collect some data. Initiate this side activity by adding your analytics to 4. Our analytics is 3 plus 4 is 7. And then we do an action roll, and then we'll find out with partial, full, or failure. 5 and 8 is a partial. Gain half, add data equal to half of your analytics. So that would be 7, rounded down would be 3. So we gain 3 data. 1, 2, 3. So we will now have a look around and see where else we could, because we still haven't got ourselves an aspect. So let's see where we can go to find some more information about the aliens on this weird, strange planet that might help us out at 07. Some methane. Okay, some methane lakes. That's another interesting place because we know that things can live in methane. There's one of the planets has methane lakes on it. I can't remember which one is. It's one of the moons. One of the moons of Jupiter. Vast shimmering lakes of liquid methane reflecting an alien sky. So these very still lakes, and we're going to go over. We're going to visit these still lakes and see if we can find any life forms in these lakes that we can then study. So this is as our travel. We travel there 5. We're traveling through these thin plains. It's obviously this is the area which seems to have the most life on the planet. It's taken us days to get there, and there's nothing there. Let's see what we can see in the distance as we're starting to go towards these thin plains. 40 high altitude lake reflecting a neighbouring planet. Okay, so we can see methane lakes reflecting a close planet. There's Flash Gordon. I think it's in the 80s. The 80s Flash Gordon, as seen in Ted, which is also an old film. That Flash Gordon, the planets come very close. There was a Wi-Fi was about something to do with that, which was not the best, which is a shame really. So we're now at the methane lakes, and we're going to start to scout around and see what we can find at the methane lakes. So now we roll a d10. Now we can burn our 3 data at this point to try and push it towards the aspect and get our first aspect. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to consume the 3 data to get a plus, and I might consume our 2 resources using our converter, adaptive converter, because if we consume 2 resources we get 1 data. So we're going to consume those 2 resources, giving us +4 to this roll. 9 plus 4, we didn't need to spend that much, means that we definitely have 10. So we now have a challenge, and we have an opportunity, and we have something called a finding, which we haven't used on this. And then finally, if we pass all that, we will gain our aspect. All right, so first off, we have our challenge. So we're looking around this methane lake, and what challenges us? 41. The ground underneath you begins to erode rapidly, revealing a deep chasm. So this is a deep chasm near the edges of the lake. If we fail this, we might fall into the lake and become, mind you, if we fail any of these, we don't get to the aspect, so we don't want to fail it. So we've got navigation. There's navigation. We actually get to use navigation. Oh, it's quite exciting. So that's a 5 and a 2 gives us a 7 if I use navigation. Or we've got an 8 if I use survival. But if we use navigation and we fail one, we can for free reroll one under the dice. So a 7. So we have 7s is our target. We will utilise navigation, which means that we can use the geospatial laboratory. Let's just double check what we can do with the geospatial laboratory. Reroll a single dice in a navigation action roll. So this is so 7s. So we can re-roll this 8, so we get 2 and a 1, so we succeed. So we succeed in so utilising our navigation systems, we are able to tell that the chasm is going to open up because we have done some deep scans of the surrounding area before we came, and that data is fed back into us, and we can then carefully step around. As the ground is collapsing beneath us, we are treading exactly where we need to, which the structure is hard. And then the methane floods into that gap. The deep chasm floods in. The methane just floods out of the lake and floods into it, and we can just step to the side and watch the methane flow past. And as the methane flows past, we'll interpret this opportunity, we'll interpret it as part of that methane flooding past us. 82. You stumble upon a functional teleportation gateway. Its power source still intact. Utilising it provides 3 energy on success. Okay, that's got navigation again, engineering and navigation. So as the methane floods out of the gate, we see out of the lake, we see a strange metallic loop sort of get exposed as the level in this area of the methane sort of reduces. we begin to, let's see, we begin to dig away around the area. So our engineering will give us a 5. Navigation, we know, gives us a 7. So we'll use navigation, won't we? And we can re-roll, because it says on 1 action roll, this would be 1 navigation action roll. So we are going to attempt to use our navigation data that we've acquired to study the area surrounding it and see if we can get this gate out. So we're looking for 7s and below. Well, 7s and below. So we get ourselves 3 energy. So that was, if we've got 3 energy, that means the 3 energy we've used is freed up. We have 3 energy which we've siphoned out of this gate, which is then exposed. So plus 3 energy from a teleportation gate. I wonder if we can get one of these gates working where we can get up to the pyramid and study the pyramid closely. And then afterwards, maybe from this we can find something interesting, which is findings. 10. A mineral-rich outcrop offers valuable resources. Careful extraction provides beneficial. Gain 1 resource. So I'm going to reinterpret that. Instead of a mineral-rich outcrop, we're going to actually be able to get some of the minerals from this gate and extract them to store as resources, as well as the energy. So we're going to leach energy, and once we've used up all of its energy, we've consumed all the remaining energy in this ancient artifact, we're going to scavenge, like you used to be able to scavenge. I don't know if you still can. Scavenge, if you have enough of it, it's only a small amount. The gold off of circuit boards, I don't think that'll be printed circuit boards, probably there is no gold in them anymore. But it's a similar type of thing, but we're accruing these very rare resources, minerals, so that gives us 1 resource from that finding. Rare minerals plus 1 resource. And then finally, because we've acquired all of that, we gain 1 aspect. Can you hear the thunder outside? Which gives us, now we only need 3 to build our laboratory to get +1 biology. What we'll do is we will slowly make our way back to base, and at base we will again start to study a lot of that data that we have been accruing. We could try and get an upgrade, but to get an upgrade we need to start spending resources, which we're using for other things. I mean, some of the upgrades are quite useful. We can gain advantage in different roles if we build an upgrade by using energy. But instead, I think I'm going to go for collecting data again, which is our analytics +4, which gives us 7 again. So we're going to look for 7s. That's a 10, isn't it? Which is no good to us. So, but the 4 is under 7, so we get half again, which gives us 3. And now we will then go back out and start to have a look and see where we can go next. What location we can start studying to get more information about the life forms in this area. 37. Oh, there's a meteorite crater. We've identified a meteorite crater, a rugged field filled with countless craters from meteorite impacts. What we didn't know was a lot of this grassy plain that we've been travelling over is actually grass that's grown up around some meteor impacts. And these meteor impacts are hiding probably some interesting things. So we are going to go and have a study of these meteor impacts which are in the plains, which are huge expanse of like thousands and thousands of kilometres of plains. 2. A challenge. We have a travel challenge. We have a challenge. So on our way to these plains, 67, we encounter bioengineered guardians protecting an ancient site. So maybe this is what we're looking for. So we've found these bioengineered guardians that seem to be protecting something. We're not too sure what it is. We've got biology, robotics, communication, IT. Our IT 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives us a 7. So that gives us a 5. What do we have? 67. Yes, I'm looking at 67. Biology, robotics, communication, IT. Communication will only give us a 6. Really want survival. That would give us an 8. I think biology, robotics, communication, IT. IT is probably our best. 4, 5, 6, 7 is 7. Yep, 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So we're going to attempt to evade and get past this bioengineered guardian. So it's bioengineered, so that means it's biological. So possibly because we're in this area, it's this strange tree-like thing that looks like it's been bioengineered. So we've got the 10, which would mean that we take 1 strain, unless we burn 3 energy, or we can attempt to burn 2 energy to reroll this. So we're going to burn 2 energy to reroll that, and we failed. So we burnt 2 energy to reroll. So that means we get another strain. But because we got 1 success, we actually do get past this. And as we get past it, we are going to have a look. Where did we go to? We're meteor impacts. So now we're at the meteor impacts. One of them seems to be deeper than the other, and that's the one that one of these things is not like the other. And that's the one that we're going to actually start exploring under. Now we can do +3 because we have 3 data, but we don't have enough resources to create more data. So we're going to just be able to have +3 to this roll. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that gives us a 10. So we start to explore, which means we get a challenge, we get an opportunity, we get a finding, and we get an aspect at the end of it. And we'll do this one, and that will give us, hopefully that will give us 2 aspects towards our final, and then we'll end this episode, I think. So first off, we have our challenge. Ten. Sudden fluctuations in gravitational force threaten your progress and stability. So as we start to explore, we get gravity issues. As we start to explore the meteorite field, the gravity starts to fluctuate in a weird way. Oh, survival. Making us very uncertain of what's going on. But we get 8s for survival. So we are going to attempt to utilise our files on our backup drive, telling us good things like survival files, to get past this. Yes, both under. So utilising those files, we understand that the gravitational fluctuations will peter in and out, and we begin to move as the fields drop and then come up, and then we're watching the cycle, and we just stay still for a few hours, and then this gravitational waves pass, and we defeat that challenge, which means, so we've been standing here for quite a long time now. So we're standing here quite a while. Let's see what opportunity comes up our way. 30. You stumble upon an abandoned alien outpost with in-tech technology. 2 data, 2 resources, 1 energy on a success. Okay, so that's engineering, IT, or robotics. Engineering, IT, or robotics. So IT will give us 4, 5, 6, 7. So we, whilst exploring these craters, we see a lost-like hatch with a number on it. And we're going to attempt to use IT to crack the code and get the hatch open and explore what's inside. What did I say? I said 7s. Yes, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to utilise our information technology. We're going to plug in to this. Maybe this is where the AI came from. Maybe this is one of the ancient outposts that kept the AI. There's a load of stuff here. 2 data, 2 resources, and 1 energy. Oh, and I burnt those 3 data. Erase those 3 data. So we are going to explore this. So 8s, 5 and 5. So we have a strong success, which means that we crack this open and we begin to explore the inside. We can easily accrue additional data for what's going on here. There are various different minerals and cans and various things that we can grab, which gives us the resource. And we can find some batteries and recharge 1 energy as we explore this weird alien outpost, which obviously is old and ancient, and if we do some carbon dating of various different elements, this is really, really old. This has been here a long time, and why it's inside one of the craters we're not too sure. The gravitational fields, once we've cracked this open, dissipate, and everything seems to stay standard and static. Alien outpost. Let's see what we can find inside, because now we have the findings. We might be able to find something inside this outpost that's useful. 37. A large alien plant pulses with energy. Careful extraction gives you a power boost, gain 1 energy. So this is a plant which is within I wonder if it's a plant. So I'm going to interpret plant as, you know, like an engineering plant. So it's a huge, so as we explore deeper and deeper, we spend days exploring this outpost. The days of time as we just explore and accrue and gain data and gain information. We explore and just store as much data as we can about this outpost, and we find this giant plant and that generator that allows us to energize ourselves, and that is where we get some additional information about how it uses energy and how the alien life forms that built this, possibly how they were structured and what they were, and that gives us the aspect, which means that we now have 2 aspects of the 4 that we need. And then with all of this information, maybe spending months exploring this base, we decide to head back to our HQ, and we can't really tell time has passed or anything has passed because of the way it is. And as we return, so we've already got 2 data. If we do, and we've got 3 resources, we could gather resources. It's adaptivity and 4. Adaptivity is a 5, so that would give us 9 resources, which means that our next time round we could actually put in an upgrade, but we've only got 2 data. I think getting more data is probably a better. Mind you, we can burn 10, which gives us 5. If we burn 10 resources, we get 5, which gives us definite success. But let's just get some data so we're not tempted. So that's analytics, which is a 3, and a 4 gives us 7s. So we're looking for 7s. A 3 and a 9, which is a partial success, which gives us so a partial success, gain data equal to half analytics rounded down. Okay, so that gives us another 3 data, which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data all in all. And with that, so we've finished that, we've got 2 left, so we need to gain 2 more aspects before we can build our alien life form, our mission alien life forms to get additional, +1 biology, isn't it? So, thank you very much. I really do like Entity. Time does pass, like about half an hour just probably passed, maybe a bit less. And that was quite fun. I do like this. So if you can, there's a link. I believe there's a link. Should be a link in description. How to find Entity. Go check it out. It's quite reasonably priced. It's very beautiful. The artwork is exquisite. And if you get a service like Doxy or someone to print it, the book is just awesome. It's truly awesome. And the write-up and the description in the front is very nice as well. Anyway, have a look at it. Thank you very much for staying. Thank you very much for visiting. Please like if you're enjoying what I'm doing. Please subscribe if you haven't considered subscribing. Please do. And if you have subscribed, why not send it to a friend? Everyone would like this, surely. If there's anything you would like me to particularly do or play, please mention in the comments. I thank you very much. You're very much appreciated. And I will see you again soon in the next game of Entity. Goodbye.